Cliff hikers, tales of Lake MAUVAIS. Hubris. It makes some men put large swaths of people into buckets. Hiya campers, this is Cliff Hiker, and in tonight's tale, one man is out to prove that an old myth just doesn't hold water. So drink down your bug juice and zip up your sleeping sack, cause this one could make you pale. I call this one Wrath of the Lakemaid.
Hello there. Out for a walk tonight.
Do I look like I'm walking?
I guess not. You look like you're waiting.
That's right, waiting. And pretty soon I'll be waiting if he doesn't show up.
For whom are you waiting?
An irresponsible imbecile. He's taking me out there.
On the lake.
That's right.
Are you going swimming?
No.
Are you going fishing?
You might say that. Fishing. For the truth?
What does that mean?
Believe me, you wouldn't understand. What I'm out here for is way above your head.
I see. Because I'm a female.
No. Because you're feeble. Feeble-minded, that is.
Well, when I stand next to such an intellectual giant, how else could I be seen?
True. Very true. But you're feeble-minded because you strike me as someone who has faith in fables, in myths.
You can tell that just by looking at me.
Yes, and I'm afraid being feeble about fables is fatal. It makes one lose one's head and kills rational thought.
Well, funny. But I still seem to have my head.
Yes, but it's empty.
Well, don't think too hard, or you may lose your head over the myths you debunk.
A rationalist like myself could never lose his head, especially over a myth.
Well, I must be going now. It was nice meeting you.
I wish I could say the same, but I've taken a vow of truth.
Good night.
So much for the night, it's nearly morning. Yes, that's what you get from hired help.
Hey there, are you Thomas? I'm Captain Merrick.
It's about time. I was about to cancel the whole trip.
Well, you still want the boat or not?
Yes.
Alright then, hop in.
Okay. Cut the motor.
I'm not gonna tell you again, sit down before I knock you down. You're gonna capsize the boat.
When I chartered this boat, I didn't realize it came with a loud mouth.
Hey, listen, pal, no one takes out my boat without me aboard. And judging by how you're handling yourself, it goes double in your case.
Oh, please. It doesn't take any special skill to float a boat on the lake.
You're right, the skill is to keep it afloat. What kind of experiment was this again?
I'm disproving a theory about a freshwater species.
What kind of freshwater species?
One that has eluded man in these waters for at least a century.
I'm not much of a historian, so fill me in a bit more.
I, Thomas Felton, am going to capture the Lakemaid.
What? Oh no, that's not what you told me on shore.
What's your problem? Are you chicken?
Listen, I don't disrespect the water. I find it respects me that way. I'm gonna turn this boat around now.
Come on. You can't possibly believe in the Lakemaid.
Look, I have no reason to disbelieve.
How about rational thought? People claim to even have seen her on dry land. How do you account for that?
According to legend, when the Lakemaid leaves water, she's more of a frog and less of a fish. Her bottom half is more like flipper legs than a tail.
Now she's an amphibian. Captain Merrick, I'm afraid you nipped too much at the bottle. Maybe some Vendetta Dolce in its prime.
Listen, I can separate booze from bugaboos. I've lived my life on this lake, and I'm telling you, these waters hold the supernatural.
Tell it to an old Dutch farmer. I don't believe in anything that can't be quantified.
Quantified?
There isn't one shred of evidence that the Lakemaid exists.
There's been plenty of eyewitness accounts. Well, how about Ginny Morgan? It was a peaceful fall morning when she was eating her breakfast. She was enjoying Eggs Benedict when she looked out on the lake and she saw what she thought was a woman moving through the water at top speed.
I read the account, but it always leaves out the detail that Ginny was on her third mimosa that morning. Like 99% of spontaneous human combustion cases happen to sleepy cigarette smokers. When the Lakemaid is sighted, drink is not far behind.
You seem a bit drunk on your own ego. Some things can't be explained.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. All things can be explained in time. It's taking the time to find the explanation that most capitulate to.
Maybe the truth is worse than a myth.
Oh, poppycock. If one doesn't want to know the truth, one might as well be decapitated. What good is a brain if it's addled with fantasy? As far as I'm concerned, people like this are algae.
Algae?
Their numbers grow exponentially. And they make it difficult to see past the surface to what lies beneath. They block the light of truth.
Aren't many folks that impress you, is there?
Truth impresses me, Captain, and fallacy distresses me.
If you don't believe in the Lakemaid, why are you out here in the first place?
The Lakemaid has to be based on something. What that something is, however, is your so-called unexplained. My thought is that this is some sort of deformed fish, perhaps a misshapen trout.
That right.
It's out there. And I'm going to find it and capture it.
Sit down now. Look, leave it be. Whatever it is, you're not qualified to do something like this.
Excuse me. Do you have a PhD in aquatic biology?
No, I got an SS on Lake MAUVAIS, and I'm telling you, leave it be. My granddad was a sailor, my dad was a sailor, and I'm a sailor. From the looks of you, you've spent more time with bound books than in the bow of boats.
Getting a PhD is very expensive, and so are boats.
And years of experience give a man a wealth of knowledge.
That's rich. You can't skip the education, Skipper. There are things in my head that a lifetime on this water couldn't help you soak up. Anatomical structures, habits and traits of freshwater life, etc., etc.
And I'm telling you, there are things out here that you can't learn in books, that only being one with the water can teach you.
I'm going to get it. And it's going to make me famous.
If you don't sit down, I'm gonna tie you to your seat. Ah!
Great, now my foot is caught in this stupid old rusty bucket.
Careful with the bail bucket.
Whoops.
Oh, jeez, now we're in trouble.
Look, I'll buy you a new bucket. It slipped from my hand, look. I would hope you could and surely won't sprout a hole and sink, Captain Merrick.
It's not sinking, I fear now. It's the wrath of the lake. You lost the bucket overboard. Losing anything off a ship is bad luck. But a bucket is one of the worst things possible.
Yet another superstition. What? What's going on? Why is the boat shaking so?
You've done it now, you little imp. You brought bad luck upon my vessel. Curse you! Curse you!
No! This can't be happening. I'm too smart to...
Still alive. Good.
Oh, what happened? Where am I? Still here. That soggy hand of mercy has brought me to dry land. But the Bonnie Cora is lost. You gave your life for me, and I'll never forget you. What happened to the Thomas guy? That wet dock should have stayed dry docked. Where are you, Thomas? Thomas? Oh, there you are. Oh, looks like you even found my bucket. Or it found you. Alright, here, let me help you take this off your head. Oh my God!
Doesn't look like we're gonna be able to bail Thomas out of this one. Until next time, keep those fires fed, and don't let anyone leave you in the dark.